the selection tools button, and for example I didn't use my department number to my reports, but if I select my department from here, it will be a parameter from all my sheets. And you can save your parameter selection from the bookmarks menu. For example, from here you can create new bookmark. And I will select one of the material name and one of the customers T, and I will create a new bookmark. I will clear all my selection. Now if I run the report with first bookmark, I will see just one parameter like department. If I run my report with second bookmark, I will see the three of them as parameter. Now I will show you how you can edit these reports, and how you can save them and how you can publish them. When you click the edit menu, you will see an attention like that. This sheet has been published and cannot be edited. Click duplicate to create a copy of the sheet you can edit. I will click the duplicate button. Now you can work on your own duplicate report like this. When you do this on this screen, you will see a part like my sheets. We created lots of base sheets with our integration, and you duplicate one of them like that, and you will see it under my sheets folder. Now you can do what you want on this step. For example, I will change these graphics. I will say edit. These graphs will show me the sales by months, but I want to see it sales by quarters. For example, I will see the data part, date, month, year, and net sales amount. Our dimensions is month, year, and our measures is amount. I want to change the month, year with quarter. To do this, I can select with right click delete, and I can add the new one. My field must be in quarter. I can select one of them. With this process, my new report show me the sales by quarters. And now I have to change its title to. To do this, I will change the my report title from appearance menu, and it's under the general tab, sales by quarters. And now this sheet is special just for me. I edit it, and now I can see what I want. Shortly, I want to explain the left menu and right menu for editing. The left menu is library. Library includes 4 parts like charts, dimension, measures, and visualization. We have lots of components under the charts menu, like bar chart, combo chart, filter pane, gauge, KPI, line chart, map, pie chart, and etc. Under the dimension, I can see my dimensions. Dimensions mean that the fields that I cannot use for calculating. The fields are that I use for defining, like customer name, like city name, like customer code, and maybe year. And the measures are calculating fields, like net sales amount and what and discount, etc. You can use all these dimensions and measures with in your reports, and you can create the new ones. And the right menu includes the properties for all the components. For example, this is a line chart, and for line chart, this properties menu include data, sorting, and add-ons and appearance menus. Under the data menu, you will see your fields that you can use in this report. My fields are quarters and net sales amount, as I said. When I click the date quarter, I can set some new settings like that. If you want to show null values, you can click this part, but if you want to not to show null values, you can cancel these clicks. If you want to get a limit to your graphs or tables, you can use limitation menu. For example, if I write fixed number like that, I will see just two quarter 2 and the others. Others includes the quarter 1, quarter 3 and quarter 4's summary. If you want to see quarter 1 and quarter 2, you can say show. You can say not show others with clicking this part. Now you can see quarter 2 and quarter 4. I will say no limitation in this part, and you can set the sorting. For example, my graphs show me the data by quarters. Quarters like quarter 1, 2 and 3 and 4. I can change its sorting like this. Sort alphabetically but descending. Now I can see it with quarter 4, quarter 3, quarter 2 and quarter 1. If I say I have to see this sales by net sales amount and its ascending values, I can change it from here to by clicking ascending part. Add-on menus is useful for reference lines. You can add reference line from here. For example, 10,000 net sales amount is critical point for me. I can say critical point, and I will red color for it. I will give red color, and my reference line expression will be 10,000. With it, I can add the reference line. You can add more than one reference line to X action and Y action. In appearance part, you can edit the tables or graphics view like that. You can change the title, sales by quarters, like. You can add the subtitle. If you add that, you will see under the main title. And if you add footnote, you will see under the reports, like here. Presentation menu can be used for the graphs properties. For example, line graphs can be shown line or area. Our graph is now area, but you can change it as line. And this is critical point, show data points. If you don't select here, don't click here, you cannot your data points on your designs. When you click it, you can say value labels on or value labels off. Colors and legend menu is useful for changing the colors. For example, it's auto. When I said I want to edit it as custom, I can change its single color like red or others, and I can change it by measure. This application offers me the color scheme like sequential gradient, sequential class, diverging gradient, etc. It's increasing by the values, this color schemes. I can change the range or legend position from this menu too. For example, in x-axis, I want to see the labels only. If I select this, I will say just labels. If I say title only, I will see just titles. If I said none, I lost all my data. I will say labels and title in this part. And you can change the position of label, for example, like this. And if you want to see it on the bottom, you can say here. If you want to see top, you can see Q1 is top of the reports. When we start to create the reports step by step, I will explain all these properties menu again and again. Now, just I want to show you how you can edit the integration reports. You don't need to say save for your editing because it is your own user. So if you close this sheet, you will see my reports under the integration like this. So I haven't say any save or nothing. If you want to publish your own sheets from here, you can say with publish with right click. When you do this, you cannot select some user. If you say publish, all the other users will see it. For example, like that. I said publish, and my report moved to another menu, which name is published by me. If you want to unpublish it, with right click, you can say unpublish, and now you will see your own report. The other user will not see this. And if you want to duplicate it, you can use right click menu again like this. It will be general sales analysis 1, general sales analysis 1 and 1. And deleting is the right click menu's properties again. And then I want to start to designing new reports with using integrations models. To do this, I will turn back to my main page. Here it's my hub screen, and if I want to create a new report, I will use my work. When I click it, I will see a create a new app button. In the others menu, you cannot see this button. If you want to create a new app, we will use this button. For example, I will say sales on diyelim. And I will say create and open app. Before designing, you have to connect any Excel or SQL or any model to show some data on your reports. To do this, you can use Add Data menu and Data Load Editor menu. Two of them are same. It is not important. I will use Data Load Editor. When you open this page, you will see two parts, like main in the left part and a white sheet which includes settings and the data connection on the right part. Main is a not important part. It is the most important part is data connection. You cannot add new connection from here, or you cannot create new connection from here. It is the main difference from ClickSense and Insights difference. Your connection folder will create it with your integration. We integrate our logo data, and the system creates a new folder for it. My last integration was logo N connection. So when I click logo N connection, select data, I will see my server and the database under it. If I select the owner as DBO, I will see my tables and my views here. And if I want to use my default models like sales models, bank models, safe deposit models that we use them in the integration reports, I can see them under the logo and data folder. You cannot see its queries, but you can use them. For example, in this sample, I will use the sales model. So I have to select sales QYD, and when I use it, I have to say select data on select data button like this. Sales QVD. I can see the fields, all the fields in this model. You can cancel some of them, or you can select all of them. It's your choice. And if I say insert script, I can insert the script automatically like this. Load is a special word in Logomite Insight. You have to use this word for loading your field from the SQL or from your model, etc., or from your Excel folder. This script includes lots of fields, and you can preview this model from here in navigation menu. First of all, you have to say load data. If you have no error or anything in the screen, you can say close. After it, you can see data model viewer. This is our model. If I say preview, I can see the sample data here. If I select just one field, I can create a dimension or measure with this field. In the other step, I will show you how you create your own field with calculating or with some function. But now I will just use this default model to create a new report. So I will turn back to my app overview and I will create a new sheet for designing and for using some components from inside. This is my first sheet and I will give a name like dashboard 1. And I will say edit in this part. It is the same screen. I have left menu like charts and fields and master items. Charts menu includes our component. We will design lots of report with this component now. First of all, I will use bar chart, and if I want to design with some reports with bar chart component, I have to drop it to the screen. When I drop it, I will see an attention like add dimension and add measure. This is my default models report. So when I click add dimension, I will see this default dimensions, and if I click the add measure, I will see the default measure. You don't need to create new dimension, new fields or new queries to design this report. I will select a dimension like a year, and I will add a measure like net sales amount. When I click net sales amount, I have an attention like that. You have to choose a function, some like sum, like count, average, mean, or max, like that. I need it. It's a very important part for correct results. When I do this, I will see my sales, total sales by the years 2013 and 2014, and my dimensions or measures are shown here. If I want to add new dimension, I can use add button. For example, like quarters. I can use this add button, or I can use these fields and this dimension for adding. Or I can add customer name under the year part. If I want to drop this field to my graphs, I have to see the graphs with light green, all of the part, not like this, like that. When I drop it, I will see add customer name, replace, add as measure, or cancel. I will say add customer name. So with this step, I can see my sales by years and customers, like that. If I say done, and when I click my bars, I can see the tooltip like customer name and year and its net sales amount. And if I want to delete my one of the dimension, I can say delete. And sorting menu is like that. I will sort my report by the year, but I can change it like here. And appearance is the important menu. I will give a name to my reports. And I can change its presentation from vertical to horizontal like that. If I say value labels on, I can see my data on my bar chart, and I can change my colors like here. If I select by dimension, all my dimension will colored with different color. If I select by measure, it will look like that. In this part, I will select by dimension like here, and I will add a new measure to here. It will be net quantity. Now the blue ones will show the sum net sales amount, and the pink ones show me the sum net quantity. And I will add a month as dimension to here. To do this, I will drop it to my report. If I say replace year, it will change it from year to month. But if you say add as measure, sorry, it will look like that. I will change its presentation to vertical. You can group the measures like grouped or stacked. If you select grouped, it will grouped by the vertical. If you say selected, you will see the net sales amount and net quantity in just one bar. Bar chart is like that. I will explain the properties menu detailedly with the other components. So now I will add a line chart to here, and I will create a new report with new field with this component. I will say add dimension as first step. My first dimension will be date. Date will show the data by day, and I will use net sales amount again. If I expand my report, my graphs, I will see the data like this. The date part include the hour part, but I want to say just date, like day, month and year. So I can change its format from here. Date field, show me the fx to open my expression editor. This editor is very useful. You can see your all tables, for example sales, and all fields in it, and you can use some functionality from here like sum, count, average, min or max, and you have used lots of function from here. I will start to write A, and the system will show me the function which one starts with A. Or if I write B, the system show me the function which starts with B. To change the format of date, I will use date function. So with this function I will see just date part, not hour. If there is any error in this editor like that, if I forget something on writing the function or formula, I will see an attention like here, error in expression. If you see this, you have to fix something on your formula. Then I will say apply, and my date format is like that. And if you want to change your measures format, for example like that, I will see 10,000 as 10 key. You have to change its format from here under the measure menu. For example, it's a kind of money, so I want to see its format like that, 00 TL or something like dollar or euro. You can change the symbol from here. For example, I will change it with dollar, so you can change the format of measures or money something. If you change it with number format, for example like that, you can use person or something like that. It's a kind of money data, so I will bring it like that. And in the appearance menu, I can change the presentation of it, and I will say show data points and value labels, so I can see my data on it. Colors is automatically blue, but you can change by measure, so the expensive, the bigger data will be shown like dark red, the smaller data will be shown like light red. I will give a name to this report to sales by date. In presentation menu, you can change the x-axis properties from here. If you want to change the position x or for x or for y, you can. You have to select the right graph or right table to change the properties. And if you want to change the range, you have to customize the range menu. For example, my data is starting with 0 and it will show the 20 million TL. If I change the range, I can give a new values for minimum and for maximum value. Not 0, I will write 1000 and I will write 50,000. So my range will show me what I want. I will bring it with auto settings. And I will add a pie chart to here to show some data on this page. And I will drop the pie chart object to my sheet. Pie chart object needs one dimension and one measure too. I will use customer city as dimension, and I will use net sales amount as measure, or I will use net quantity. I have lots of city on my data, so the graph show me like that. If you say done, you will preview your reports, and if you use your mouse, you can turn the graphics like that. It will useful to see some customer city's name correctly. You can see a right click menu when you right click your component. You can take a snapshot of this graph and you can use this snapshot in your stories to design your presentation. If you go to Snapshot Library, you can see this snapshots like that. I will say take snapshot and I will say open Snapshot Library, and you will see a list in this library. If you say open exploration menu as end user, you can change all the settings from here too. For example, my presentation like pie, but I want to change with donut. If I said that, my graph will be shown like donut. Your value labels is share as default like that, but you can change it with values, or you can select none from here. If you change something from here, you have to say discard or apply to move on for creating. I will say apply, and from now on my graph will show like that. Limitation is important point, as I said. If you want to give a limit to this graph like that, for example fixed number and 5, I will write 5 to it. I will see just 5 city on this graph. The fourth one, Antalya, Bitlis, Istanbul and Yozgat are my city. Others are the summary of my other city. If I don't want to show the others, I can cancel this. With this, I will see really just 5 city. If you say exact value on this part, you can say I have to list my city which have bigger than 5,000 net quantity. The selection generated no data for this chart. I will see this. If I say 500, I will just one city. If I say 50 or 150, I will say just one city. Alternative measure is important thing too. If you add some measure as alternative, for example, net sales amount, your design will not change in this part. But if you say done and if you open the exploration menu, you can see your design with net quantity or with net sales amount. It is the alternative measure using. If you select net sales amount, the default format will be shown with net sales amount. I will say apply and like that. And in sorting menu, you can change the sorting settings, as I said. And in appearance menu, you can change the presentation with pie and donut. It is same with exploration menu actually. I will say value labels custom to auto, so I will change it with share. Colors menu, I will change it by dimension. If I select by dimension, I can select color scheme, two color schemes, like 12 color or like 100 color. If you have dimension more than 12, you have to use 100 colors in this part. And I have 3 reports on this sheet. To use another components, I have to add new sheet to my app. To do this, I can use this button and I will say create new sheet, and I will give a name like dashboard 2. And now I will start to create another report with another components. Now I will use scatter plot object and I will drop it to screen. Scatter plot object needs 1 dimension and 2 measure. I will use customer name and net sales amount and number of invoice for this report. To calculate the number of invoice, I will use the invoice number with count function. So I will see my customers and their total net sales amount and their total invoice, number of invoice. In this graph, when you come on to customer, you will see a tooltip like this. But now I want to change their color dimension by dimension to show my reports more beautiful than this. To do this, I will change my appearance settings. I will use colors and legend menu to do it, and I will say selection by dimension, and I will change the bubble size from here, and I want add another critter like cogs or something else, and it will affect the bubble size again. For example, discount, total discount. The third measure will affect my bubble size like this. For example, coach system is have a point like that, but Pirelli have a point like that. This third measures will affect their size. The first measure is my net sales amount and its x-axis. The second measure is invoice number, its y-axis, and the third measure is discount, and it affects my bubble size. My graph is showing me the minus values. If I want to change it, I have to change range menu. So in x-axis menu, I will change the range. Min will 0 from now on. If I said minus 50/100, I will see like this. But I want to see my report with 0. Sıkıntı yok. We can add lots of dashboards in one report, but format is very important because there is no application on mobile for Logomind inside. You will see your report from your browsers, and it will look like that. If you add reports on dashboard, you will see it like that. So if you have lots of report, you can add new sheets, and you can show your reports more beautiful. To select your data on your scatter plot report, you can use Lasso. Lasso is a kind of like that. When you click your report, you will see this button, Lasso Selection, and if you click it, you can draw the screen like that, and if you can draw it like that, you will select your customers with this selection, and you can use this selection type. I will give min and max value to my graph. For example, 40 and 350, and I will select this customer. Just 3 of 19. Arçelik, Apple, and Code System. After the line chart, I will add an table to this screen. Table is the most useful component, maybe. You can add lots of columns to this component with add dimension or add column menu. I want to add city, customer city, then customer name and material name and date, and I want to add some measure to here, like net sales amount and net quantity and discount. I have to select some discount. It's important point. You have to you give attention to this. So I create my table like that. My columns are city name and material name, date, and some calculating fields. You can change the totals position from the appearance menu. Totals presentation is auto. If you change it with custom, you can say top or bottom. Or you can hide the total if you want. I will use it with bottom menu. And in preview menu, you can change the columns size like that. And if you say apply to this changing, your column will show like that. You can change the sortings with drag and drop from here. For example, my sorting is with customer city, but I will change it with customer name, so I will sort it with my customer name. Now I will give a break, nearly 5 minutes, then I will go on my broadcasting.